Hey everyone, Lucamus Prime here. So it's time for another franchise ranking video today. Today I'm going to be ranking the movies of a sub-franchise today. Today I'm going to be ranking the 4 movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe of the 4 Avengers movies. So this will include all 4 of the MCU's Avengers movies from best to worst in my personal opinion. So if you guys disagree with that's fine, it's your opinion, but please don't disrespect or challenge my opinion because I wouldn't do that to you. So let's begin by starting with my all-time favourite Avengers movie, which is also my favourite movie of all time, and a movie that I waited so long for, and was absolutely worth it. It is none other than Avengers Endgame. And I give that a full-blown 100%, like without a single doubt, 10 out of 10. But if I give it a million out of 10, I definitely would give it that. If that rating existed, I'd definitely give it a million. So what do I like about Endgame, guys? Well, I really love this movie, and after rewatching it loads and loads of times, I've loved it every single time I've rewatched it. It's such an amazing, flick for me to watch. So everything was good about me. The acting was phenomenal by the entire cast. The action was also incredible. The visuals also absolutely spectacular with very impressive CGI. The music by Alan Silvestri was also fantastic, and every darn scene of this movie I loved so much. I really loved it. But if that's what my favourite scene in the movie is, guys, it would definitely have to be the portals scene. That scene gives me the most chills I've ever had in any movie. The most goosebumps I've ever had. Rewatching that scene, it still gives me goosebumps to this day. Another honourable mention definitely has to go to the scene where Cap wields Mjolnir, something that I really was happy about getting to see happen in live action. It's really amazing. And I love how this movie as well, it closed several doors for certain characters, but it sets up new ones to be opened. For example, I think the way it retired the characters of Iron Man and Captain America was also great. But Tony's death is probably the saddest movie death I've ever seen, really. The saddest one ever. Because, I've been with Tony ever since the first Iron Man movie in 2008, watching him as Iron Man. And it was so heartbreaking seeing him go in Endgame. I remember crying so much when he died in Endgame. It was so emotional. And as well, how he was set up new things. It was such a great movie. And the time travel was also incredible. The way it celebrated the 11 years of this, Infinity Saga was fantastic. It really was. And the wait for this was so worth it. It really was. Now, my second favourite Avengers movie has to be Avengers Infinity War from the year before, in 2018, which I also give 10 out of 10 to. This was another which I waited so long for, 10 years for after the first Iron Man movie. The pros of this movie, the acting by the whole cast was absolutely incredible. But to be honest, guys, I've got to give it to Josh Brolin as Thanos. The wait for Thanos was worth it because of this movie. His performance as Thanos was probably easily the best thing about this movie. He still was showing such many incredible moments. The action scenes were also great, the Battle of Wakanda being my favourite scene in the whole movie. It was absolutely epic. I loved it. Visuals also really impressive as well, really great. And I like Alan Silvestri returned to compose the music, for this movie after he did it for the first Avengers film. I was very happy about that. I like how it brought in other heroes who've been introduced to him in the saga, such as, Black Panther, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and also the Guardians of the Galaxy. That was really incredible. And what I also love about this movie, guys, is unlike the other 3 Avengers movies, this film is unique in which the heroes lose and the villain wins this time. And they took a big risk by killing off so many beloved, fan favourite characters. And it worked perfectly. And it left me hungry and hyped for more. And it left, so many people hyped for Endgame. I mean, I remember watching it, the entire cinema that I was in, every single seat was sat in by someone. There was not a single empty seat in the sight, implying that everyone waited for this movie. I mean, is any wonder Endgame became a highest-grossing movie of all time? But yeah, this movie was my favourite Marvel movie before Endgame came out. It's actually my second favourite Marvel movie of all time after Endgame, guys. So yeah, this was a great movie. It really was. My third favourite would be The Avengers, or Avengers Assemble, whatever you want to call it, from 2012. And I'll give it maybe a 9 out of 10. I'll be honest, when I saw this in 2012, this was also my favourite Marvel movie back in 2012. So what was good about this movie was, once again, the acting by the whole cast was great. The action was also incredible. My favourite scene in the movie was definitely the Battle of New York. That was an epic fight scene, really great. The music was also great by Alan Silvestri. Loved it. And Loki was also a great villain in the movie. I like how, you know, we got introduced to him in the Thor movie before this movie, and then he was built up in this movie to be an antagonist, and he was perfect in the role. And I like how it also brought together the previous, you know, films, like, you know, it brought together Iron Man, Captain America, and Hulk in this, and also Thor. And also, you know, we got introduced, you know, to Hawkeye as, like, in his big role, and also Black Widow came back too, brought together into the Avengers. And I like how Nick Fury got to play a very important role as well, which I was very happy about. And I also did love, you know, the post-credit scene where it teased Thanos. Like, that was an incredible moment, you know, getting to see Thanos for the first time. It wasn't played by Josh Brolin, it was played by Damian Poiter, that's what he's called. But still, it was a great setup for future films. It was really great. Doesn't add up to Endgame or anything, in my opinion, but, you know, I still love this movie so much, and it's a great movie for what it is. I really, really love this movie. And now we get down to my least favourite Avengers movie, but I don't hate it, guys. It's Age of Ultron from 2015, which I give a 7 out of 10 to. I enjoy the movie, but I do have, you know, issues, which is why it's my least favourite Avengers movie. So, what I like about this movie, you know, the acting by the cast was great. It really was, you know, they all did a great job as their characters. I liked, you know, everyone did great in their roles. Visuals were also great, and so was the action as well. But in my opinion, guys, I think the best character in the movie was Hawkeye. Because I like how, compared to the first Avengers movie, he was improved slightly, where he got to have, like, his own personality, in a way. And also, we got introduced to his family as well. Like, that was great development for a character. Like, I really enjoyed him in this movie so much. I like we also get introduced to, you know, Scarlet Witch and also Quicksilver and Vision. You know, great additions to the cast. And definitely, I think, you know, the best mention has to definitely go to James Spader as Ultron. Wasn't really a fan of how Ultron was characterised in the movie, but I gotta say, James Spader really nailed it. He's my favourite Ultron. And I also definitely did love the post-credit scene featuring Thanos, where he gets his gauntlet and he says, you know, fine, I'll do it myself. That was a great moment. However, let's go down to what I don't like about this movie. Like I said about characterisation of Ultron, I really disliked how he was basically acting just like a robotic version of Tony Stark. Because, you know, he was created by Tony in the movie. Like, I would rather they did it with the comic book route where he was created by Hank Pym. I was a bit disappointed about that. Not very comic accurate. I was a bit disappointed. And with regards to, you know, Bruce and Nat's relationship, I think it's good for their relationship, you know, because they've been through so much, so I think it fit perfectly for their characters to be together. But I feel like the relationship was a bit bland. Like, it's hard to tell if they're in a relationship or not in this movie. They really developed them very well. I also dislike as well how they completely wasted Claw as well. He was a very interesting character played by the great, you know, King of Motion character Andy Serkis, but he was wasted. But luckily he has a better role in the Black Panther movie, I will admit that. It wasn't a great in Black Panther movie, you know, the best role, but he was better in that movie compared to this movie. I mean, Serkis himself also described his role as being like a cameo appearance, pretty much, and I'll probably agree with him because it was pretty short. I also dislike how they underdeveloped and killed off Quicksilver as well. Like, it wasn't really developed very well, and then they killed him off. I didn't really like that. I was so confused they killed him off because, you know, because it was confirmed that Aaron Taylor Johnson signed up for multiple movies. Like, I didn't think he'd be killed off after appearing in only just 2 movies, because he only appeared in Winter Soldier's post-credit scene in this movie, and then got killed. Like, that was very disappointing. So, yeah, what a shame. I mean, I didn't see that coming. I also dislike as well how there was also less screen time for Nick Fury and also S.H.I.E.L.D. too compared to the first Avengers movie. I was very disappointed about that. I mean, I'm pretty sure Samuel Jackson said that his role is also like a cameo too in this movie, and it pretty much is because he's barely in the movie. But you know what, guys? I still enjoy Age of Ultron. I still watch it to this day. You know, it's okay. It's not a bad movie at all. Like, it's pretty enjoyable. But not one of my favourite Avengers movies. It's one of my least favourites. So guys, this is me doing my ranking of the 4 Avengers movies from best to worst in my personal opinion. So number 1, Endgame. Number 2, Infinity War. Number 3, The Avengers. And number 4, Age of Ultron. So, you know, Joe, guys, be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to leave us all comments how you guys would rank the Avengers movies. I'd love to hear you guys would rank them. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe for more videos coming in the future. And I'll see you all later.